Okay, well, if you're watching, I hope you're doing some painting. I thought I'd do this guy with a blue hoodie this time. As his, his beard and hair is blonde, so it's a nice colour to just, highlight his facial colour, facial beard colour or whatever it might be. Facial colour, beard colour, whatever it is. Okay, Dave's on Discord again. Tim, how you going, mate? Good to see you guys there. Hey, Table Salt's here too. How you going, mate? Must be really early in the morning for you there. Well, please, guys, start chatting. Start posting some comments or questions or whatever you guys want to do in the comments so we can get some conversations going. Oh, if you haven't listened, I was just listening on the way home when I was driving. Nathan's new podcast is out about Felix and Gotrek, which is really, really good. He's just reading the stories from the Undead 4th edition book and the Empire 4th edition book as well. And it's really, really good. It's a great listen. I'm so glad that Nathan's doing these now because I was so longing for a podcast that looked at the lore or the stories or whatever, as there's not anything around that's doing that. So I really enjoyed that so far. I haven't finished it, but I'm going to enjoy just listening to that on my drives to work and back. Well, I hope your work is sort of getting a bit easier for you then, Tableside, because I know it's been really quite a strain and stressful and just non-stop go, since we last chatted. So hopefully that situation's getting, a bit better for you, mate, especially towards Christmas. Maybe you have a break over Christmas. Maybe, you finish up in the next couple of days or something, maybe. Well, I guess if he's got a blue hat, he's going to have a red dress, I suppose. And his gloves are going to be either black or brown. Oh, cool. Excellent, Tim. Yeah, I'd love to get back. I don't think I've read them, so I would love to get into those books, but I think nowadays it's just an impossibility for me to actually sit down and read a book. I just literally don't have the time to do it unless I'm on a plane or in some situation where I'm stuck in like a cabin or something in the middle of the wilderness or somewhere with nothing else to do. I think the audiobook series would be the best thing for me. I might start looking at that in 2021 so I can download all the books and then listen to them on the way onto work. I think that's probably the best way of doing it. Because as far as I know, they're all on Audible, or is it audible.com? That it's like a book library, audio book library. I'm not interested in the new ones they're releasing now, I think. I just want to just read the original ones. I think they're the best ones. Yeah, I bet, Tim. Yeah, if you're listening while you're walking your dog, you don't want to go back home, do you? Maybe your dog feels the same way. It's great for the dog. Am I doing this wrong? I'm doing it the arse way about, you idiot. This is metallic up here, and the bottom part is the timber part, isn't it? This timber stock that's... Haven't got my glasses on, maybe that's why, but I think that's a poor excuse. So what's everybody painting at the moment? I think Dave would be painting his Blood Bowl stuff or his Hippogriff. Table Salt's not painting anything at all, I don't think. He's probably just waking up and going to work. Oh, that's cool. I'm glad you're getting some hobby time in then, Table Salt. That's good to hear. Do you think you'll get it finished in time for the end of the month? Your entry for this month? If it's a salamander, what are they worth again? Are they worth about 80 points each or something, aren't they? Bloody terrifying, those bloody things. I hate them. And my mate John Joe, who plays locally with me, he'll take at least 3 of them. And I think the worst part about it is when they misfire, it does nothing. It does nothing to them because it's a living creature. It can't malfunction like a mechanical war machine. So it just sort of it gulps on its own spit, and that's it. That's the only negative thing that happens to them. I do have a bit of a dislike for the old lizardmen. I do think they are the reptilian overlords that Nigel Stillman was writing about in his books. I'm sure that's where the inspiration came from, some kind of ancient aliens kind of, backdrop to them. But I'll never forget, like John Joe saying, because I just automatically assumed, because I didn't know anything about Lisbon, I just automatically assumed that they were like an evil alignment. And he said, no, they're good alignment. I said, you got to be kidding me. I said, look at the bloody things. They got these big razor, sharp teeth. They look like ferocious. They're going to rip your throat out, or bite your throat out, kind of creatures. There's nothing about them at all that looks good. They only use high magic, but Yes, 90 points. Okay, painting 3 with crew. They gobble up crew when they misfire. Oh, do they? Oh, bugger me. Well, maybe John Joe's been playing that wrong then. So thank you for doing that. Thank you for telling me that, Table Salt, because I'll have to check that, because the next time we do play, and whenever that's going to be, then I'll make sure that he does that. He takes one of his crew away. I'll have to arrange a remote game with him, because he's got high elves as well. So we were talking about that ages ago, about doing a remote game, and we might have to do that at some point, because I don't think we're going to meet up anytime soon to have a game with him. So yeah, that's one army I will never ever collect. Lizardmen, I think Dark Elves, again, I'm just not into them. I'll never collect them. Not interested in the models or the lore or anything like that. Wood Elves may be tempted to. But yeah, they don't give me like a huge, buzz when I look at them or anything like that. What's another army that I don't really like? Oh no, there's something there. I think they're the main ones. I don't really like Dark Elves and the Lizardmen. Bretonnians are not really overly keen on either. And then they've got some nice models and everything, but it just doesn't really excite me. Even though I quite like the idea of cavalry, but yeah, just as an army, it doesn't really do much for me. Interesting painting options though, like all the heraldry and that kind of thing. That'll probably keep you entertained for a while, but I suppose after you painted like 20 horses, you're probably just thinking, well, will this ever end? I think you really just got to love it like Dan does. He loves his Bretonnians. I think you just got to really be into it. And I suppose with me and Dwarves and Orc and Goblins, I'm just really into the factions, and I really love it, where it would just bore some people to death. painting green flesh over and over and over again, or painting beards or something like that. Are there any particular armies that you guys don't like at all? Like facing, or would never consider ever painting or collecting? So Tim said, I've got 39 horses for the challenge. What was I thinking? Yeah. I bet you, mate, because 39 horses, my God. I think 10 would be my limit, I think. And then I'll be like, I think I've had enough doing like painting barding or horses in general. I mean, yeah, 39 is a really big stretch. So good luck with that, mate. That's an endurance and a half, that one. I think you should be given some kind of prize after completing 39 horses. There should be something in the rules about that. Now, has anybody been following The Expanse at all? Because Series 5 is out now on Amazon Prime, and I've watched the first 3 episodes, and I was like, hey, what happened to the rest of the series? Like, they only showed 3 episodes of it. I thought that's really weird, because they usually have, 8-9 episodes per season. And I thought maybe it's a COVID thing, maybe they could only produce 3 and they just couldn't finish the rest. Then I had to look online to find out that there will indeed be more episodes coming. They're just staggering the release schedule over so many weeks, which really peeved me off. But I suppose it's something to look forward to now over the holidays. But yeah, really enjoying The Expanse. If anybody hasn't seen it, then I'd recommend it if you do have Amazon Prime. Enjoyed the books, wasn't keen on the TV, to be honest. Okay, well, that's... I haven't read the books at all. So I guess for those people who have read the books, they're always going to have a difference of how they interpreted, the books in the stories, and then how they then, reimagined or just rewrote the stories for TV. So in a sense, I'm glad I didn't read it. Like Game of Thrones, I never read the books either. So I didn't have like a preconceived idea of the scenes or characters or events in that series too. But I know it's a shame. It must be disheartening for people. I suppose the people who really loved The Lord of the Rings before the movies came out, they would have been just shattered. And once they saw the movies, they just would have. I know some people really hated them. So. I'm going to play a game with Justin this Sunday. We've talked about it and arranged it, so he's coming out to my place. We're going to play Empire versus Chaos, which should be pretty cool. Maybe 1,500 points, I think. I'm really trying to encourage Justin to try to finish painting his stuff. So hopefully everything will have some kind of paint on it, which would be really great if it is. And I might stream it. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about streaming it or just filming it and just putting up YouTube. So we'll see. What do you guys prefer? Like, do you prefer stream games if we just stream it, or do you prefer it being filmed and edited and then shown that way? Sort of work on my anvil a little bit, just try to get the wheels done. Oh, hi Peter, how you going, mate? Thank you. This is one of the first models I painted for my Dwarf Army, actually. And I got it on eBay of all places for $20 Australian, because a lady had posted up on there, and I don't think she knew what she was posting. I think it was either her husband's or her son's or whatever. And just really, really lucky. It was complete in the box and everything. So those kind of steals, if you like, are still around on eBay. And I got my parents to ship it over to here, and it was one of the very first things I did. And now I'm sort of giving it the Hero Hammer treatment with all the classic colour scheme and the banners and everything. So and how you going, Peter? Okay there, mate? Mate, it's a very rare thing for me to ever find something of that quality, especially in a box, for $20. It's just incredible. No one even watched it, even through the whole. Hi, Ebenezer Scrooge. How you going, mate? Yeah, no one even watched it. No one even looked at it. I don't know whether it was because it was only in Australia and they wouldn't post overseas, but even then, someone in Australia would have wanted it. It was just meant for me, I think. But I very rarely go on eBay nowadays. I just cannot be tempted to go there, because I know I'm going to spend so much time going through the auctions and everything. I just don't. I've got a life. I can't do it anymore. I've got far too many things to do. I think if the only thing I was going to look for now would be, if anything, would be a Mighty Fortress, but I'm sort of in the process of making one anyway, so this is one of the things I wish I never sold my original one. Yeah, we played it in the game with, you probably would have seen the video with Paul, and I don't think he'd ever seen the anvil in use in a 5th edition game before. And I think the rules do sort of suck for it, like with the lightning bolts, you got to use all of them all at once, and it's only one dispel to dispel all of them, and then it's gone. So the only thing it really does anything really good for the anvil is the total power card. That if you get that, you've got something. As long as it doesn't blow it up, you've got some kind of really good, powerful attack. But yeah, 200 points is quite a lot to sink into it. I quite like the rules for Renaissance with the anvil. I found it much more usable. Like, it's got those 4, predetermined spells, college spells you get. But I quite like that. I quite liked how it played in Renaissance, actually. There's still very elemental spells. You got lightning and thunder and what else is there? I think there's a couple of celestial. You got bright magic spells. One does like a fireball attack or something, I think, or sets things on fire. So yeah, it's quite cool. I really like it, actually, how they sort of themed the rules to the college spells. And I really wanted to play a game with dwarves this month because it is Dwarfcember, but I don't think I'm going to get a chance to do it. I was talking to Robert Duffy again today about doing our remote game. And that'll be Chaos versus Dwarves, but he's playing Dwarves, I'm playing Chaos. So I'm playing Chaos twice this month. so far. And I'm playing Night Goblins against Marcel's Dwarves. So maybe Dwarves won't get a show in this month, unfortunately. We'll see how we go, though. I really want to do a podcast about the Dwarf book, about the lore and that kind of thing. I'm looking for someone to do that with me because it might be just like a bonus episode, like towards the end of the month. So if you're passionate about dwarves and you like talking a lot about dwarves, let me know, because we could really use somebody, I think this month especially for Dwarfsember. And I'd love to have a natter with somebody about the Dwarf Army book for 4th edition. So if that's you, then please get in contact with me because we can make that happen. I did do a podcast a couple of nights ago with the Mr. the Dr. Viking. Is it Mr. Doctor the Viking? That's it, Mr. Doctor the Viking. That's how he likes to be. That's how he likes to be called, and it's obviously an alias. He doesn't want to reveal his real name. But unfortunately, the recording quality was so bad because of the microphone he was using. It was just unlistenable. So I decided that we weren't going to release it, and we'll have to do it again. And he realized that he used his old headset, not his new headset, and it had a really bad mic on it. So, which is a real shame because we had a really good chat, and it was really good to talk to him. And we had even after we finished the podcast, we chatted again for another, 17, 20 minutes or something after that as well. And so, yeah, we hope to bring another podcast with him from the Cowabunga 28mm old school miniature page that he's running his blog on. And we talked about that, about Facebook and blogs and the sort of the importance of having blogs and that kind of thing, or why people prefer those than other social media sites these days. And in some cases I can see his points about that because, I know he doesn't like Facebook at all, and that's fair enough. And I quite like the old style forums. I'm sort of that generation where forums were a really big thing back in the early 2000s and that kind of thing. But I do appreciate Facebook for many other qualities and the sort of community building it has, the connectability it does bring to groups and that kind of stuff. So is anybody painting anything for the challenge at all at the moment? Is anybody going to have to do a mulligan this month like me? Because I ain't going to paint, I need to paint more than 10 models because they're worth about 13 points each. So I'm never going to get my stuff painted on time. So anybody else going to have to do a mulligan? And I told my parents this morning, and my parcel's on the way from Australia. A couple of parcels, actually. One from my good man, Dan, from the Australian Oldhammer community. He's sending me some epic stuff for my orc army. And then my parents are sending me some bits and pieces I've bought over the last couple of months. One being all the plastic goblins from the 4th edition set, which I don't actually have. I've got the goblins obviously, but I don't have the spearmen, and I needed those for certain scenarios. And my Man of War dwarves are on the way, which would be awesome. So that's the Ironclads. I'm trying to think what the third one is. Oh, that's right, another Man of War fleet. That's the High Elf fleet. Got some High Elf ships coming as well, which I have to thank Ben for, because Ben got me in contact with a guy that he knows locally that was selling them for a really good price and that kind of thing. So thanks, Ben, if you ever get to watch this, mate. It's been really good. I think I've actually got a high elf fleet for my Man of War now, and look forward to playing that again. Hopefully Ben will come and join me at some point to talk about Plague Fleet, and we get to play another remote game, because I think it's due for sure, because he needs revenge from our last battle. If you've never played Man of War, I really urge you go and have a look at it. It's really a good game, actually. It's fantastic. I just can't wait to play it again. I enjoyed my games with Marcel as well, playing it together. And it works well remotely. Actually, I'll contact Ben tomorrow to see what his plans are for the next week or so. Okay, so again, guys, anybody have an army they really dislike very much for Warhammer? Okay, have we lost chat? Are you guys still there? Please come and talk to me. Dave's here. Are you talking about aesthetically or game-wise? I think both. Whatever you dislike about something, just let me know. I mean, aesthetically, I absolutely hate and loathe the 6th edition Ogre army. I think they're the worst looking faction ever to be created by Games Workshop, period. That's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people love them. Yeah, I like the 3rd edition Wood Elves, especially like the Jez Goodwin ones. I really like those a lot. But as like a play style in an army, I'm not so keen on them. Yeah, I believe so too, mate. I think anything post 2000, I'm really not so fond of, to be honest. You know, very early 90s is sort of my cup of tea. Mate, I wish I had the Slayer King. I don't have him. I mean, I was thinking about him today, actually, of all things. I really need him for the second part of my challenge, maybe, just as a character model. I don't have him, and I don't have as a Burlock Damonson, I don't have that guy, the engineering character. They're the only two ones I'm missing now. And Skag the Stealthy for the Grudge of Dawn campaign, I don't have him. And a couple of the Drunken Dwarf, I think there's a Miner that I don't have as yet. Oh, time for a break. Are you a dwarf fan, Ebenezer? And Dave says he wasn't keen on when the demons were made a separate army. That would have been in 5th edition, yeah? Because in 4th edition, they were just like you could add on, you had so many points, like a quarter of your points could be made up of demons. And I really prefer the 4th edition rules for Chaos, personally. And I'll play those rules with Justin when he comes up. Oh, cool. Ebenezer just saying that his first army was the dwarves. Mate, I could have only dreamed of having a dwarf army when I first began playing Warhammer. For me, it was the High Elves, because it came in the set, in the 4th edition box set. Yeah, I prefer the old metal ones too, mate. Actually, I got some in the mail the other day from my old mate over in Austria. Was it 15 Bloodletters of Khorne? I think they're 4th edition or 5th edition ones. I'm not sure. It comes with a standard bearer and musician and a champion. So I'm really happy to have those actually, because I really like those old Bloodletter models. And I think for 15 with a champion and a standard bearer and musician, that's quite a lot of points in one unit. But I have no idea when I'll get around to painting my Chaos Army. I need to collect a lot of models first for it, but Skaven is definitely going to be the next big one that I'll do. Because I'm really loving the idea of Skaven and how they play. And the models as well are really fantastic. The characters especially. Oh yeah, the undead looks really good too. I'm really interested in doing undead as well. It's a shame that mummies suck though, because I really like the idea of mummies, but they just suck in the game. Like you can never move them more than 3 inches. It's just terrible. So Tim says, hi, was the first for me. Always hated chaos, but maybe that's because I always lost to them. Yeah. I think they were like pretty much the preferred choice for every young Warhammer player. I certainly got trapped in chaos as well, and I think after playing them again recently, they're very one-dimensional, and I'm not really enjoying playing chaos that much. But I just like the idea of having these cards, the gifts for 4th edition. I think that's such a great, cool idea for them, that I'm willing to give them another try. But yeah. I'm much more excited about playing Orc and Goblins and Skaven or Undead. Yeah, I know that story, mate. Ebenezer Scrooge. He says, I spent all my money that I earned in a part-time job on Warhammer. Yep, I know. I can certainly relate to that. Dave, that's a good question. And to be really honest with you, mate, I really don't care what they do with it. Being the cynic, because I know it's not going to be is what I want it to be. It's not going to be this. That's the thing. It's just not going to be what. Yeah, I'm not really all that fussed about what they do, to be honest. And that's with any IP they use, whether it be Warhammer or 40k or whatever. It's just not what I remember the good days being like, and the games they're making. But I'm sure a lot of people are excited about what's happening. I think, again, being the cynic, just prepared to be disappointed with it. I think it's not going to be Warhammer as you know it, kind of thing, or knew it. But then it could be a surprise, and it could be something really cool. That's designed to get a lot of the old crowd back into Warhammer again. Who knows? But looking at the Kislev artwork, concept artwork and that kind of thing, I wasn't really impressed because it's all this very anime looking designs and that sort of stuff that does not do anything for me. But if anything, I hope it brings back a whole new generation of people that really get into Warhammer. Like with all the new stuff they're doing now with Games Workshop, it's bringing a new generation of people into the hobby, and that's the most important thing, I guess. Yeah, it did look like from a concept artwork from an MMO. That's the target audience they're looking at now. It certainly isn't us old blokes who like the 4th edition or 5th edition days. It's more for the guys who are really into World of Warcraft or still into it, which is not me. No, they're never going to go back to they're never going to go back to the old craft of hand designed miniatures and all this kind of stuff. Everything's CAD designed. It's soulless, and it's just, I don't be too negative about it, but it just isn't for me. It's just not for me. Now, that's from a guy who went into the Song of Ice and Fire Kickstarter and enjoyed the game. The miniatures are quite nice for that game, but again, they're all sort of CAD design. They're all sort of 3D design and that kind of thing. That's just the market nowadays. But I don't look at that game, and I obviously don't play it very often, but I don't look at that game as a hobby game. I mean, this is a hobby, massive investment of time and hobby, hours that's going into painting and, converting, making, building. It's a completely different thing. So it's not like the old days, the good old days. But anyway, guys, I'm going to wrap it up. It's been an hour. Thank you very much for joining me. We're going to come back again tomorrow for another hour or so, another hour session from about 11:30 to 12:30. So if you enjoyed our little painting session tonight, I hope to see you again tomorrow. I think for a lot of people, they're on holidays now or started to get on holidays or start their holidays soon. And yeah, I hope you enjoy these little sort of paint and chat sessions. We hope to keep them more regular. Maybe not every night in the future, but certainly for the time being, yeah, it's good. It's been good. So it's been good to connect with you guys. That's the main thing. That's the main reason why I'm doing it. So if you would like to have another paint session tomorrow, please let me know in the comments. Don't leave me all alone. Ebenezer Scrooge says his brother had orc and goblins. Oh, nice one. There's nothing more classic than dwarves versus orc and goblins, mate. That's for sure. Okay, guys, so thank you very much for joining me, and hope to see you again tomorrow around about the same time. And take care of yourselves out there, wherever you might be. and keep on painting tonight or today or whatever time zone it is for you guys. It's now 12:30 a.m. on the 23rd of December. So I'm going to just do a bit of a drawing and then go to bed. So take care, guys. See you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.